Good morning, everyone. John Pascavage here, and it's 3:30 in the morning. I had stuff to do on Friday night last night, and I have stuff to do tomorrow, Sunday. So it's Saturday morning, and I want to go steelhead fishing. So what am I going to do? Can't stay overnight. I'm going to do a speed run here. It's going to be 3.5 hours. 3.5 hour drive for me. So it's going to be 3.5 hours up, 3.5 hours back. So 7 hours total of driving. But anyway, I'm hearing some decent reports overall. And the water is really low and clear, but I'm hearing there's fish being caught. And you know, they did have another shot of rain last weekend, and they still haven't really had a big blowout yet. Like, just, you know, a lot of rain, but they've had enough to really get, you know, the mouths opened a bit, get some fresh fish in there, and kind of continue to move what was already there up into the upper portions of the streams. So, getting ready to head out, and we're going to go check it out and see what we can catch. Fish on. Coming down. Don't want to give up. Coming up. Coming across, coming down. Coming way down. Coming down. Yep. These fresh ones never want to quit. Don't go over there, please.
Help if I can, there might be more hindrance.
What's that?
I'll help if I can, there might be more hindrance.
Ah. Boy. Oh, yeah. Oh. Oh. Boy. Ah. That's good. That's fine. Thanks. Just a small guy. Maybe. Thank you. Fish on. Coming down. Nice. What's that? Oh yeah, I see him take it. You got a black woolly bugger? That's what I'm getting. I switched to that, and I've hooked up 3 times in about 10 minutes already. One flaw of mine as an angler, and this is something I really it's a mental thing I really need to kind of figure out how to rectify and get myself into making these adjustments on the water is, well, you know, you hear people talk about, I figured it out, and I just have this thing where when I catch a few fish on something, or I kind of have a pattern going and I have confidence in it, or even a confidence in an area, I tend to put all my eggs in that one basket. And, you know, they say if it ain't broke, don't fix it, and don't leave fish to find fish. Those are both sound pieces of advice, right? But it just seems like when I'm fly fishing, no matter what the species, or another big thing is a lot of my bass tournaments, I just have this weakness where I put all my eggs in that one basket and I just don't make the adjustment. I try to stick with that pattern, just thinking and thinking it'll turn on, it'll work out. And it eventually doesn't. I'm kind of scrambling, right? And unfortunately, that's a mistake I made on this trip. Now, in the last Steelhead video I did, I talked a lot about the squirmy wormies, fishing them weightless, and how that pattern was on fire last time. And I was really thinking that was once again going to be the case, right? So I must have tied up about 40 of the things in a bunch of different colors. And I was actually, Gretchen was up there watching me tie a little bit. And she at one point said, "You gonna tie anything else?" And I guess that kind of spoke to me because, well, I stuck with that pattern so much during this trip. And, well, I was working, I was fishing a few areas, and about, maybe 5 or 10 minutes in, I caught one on the pink squirmy, right? So my first fish came on, and I was kind of trying to switch to some of the other colors, trying to get some fish, something to react to it and bite, but it was just to no avail. And then I ended up catching one on a cream colored mop fly, right? And very tough fish because they were just, it was very low and clear water, and it's getting to the point where the guides up there are actually starting to cancel their trips because the water is so low and clear and the fish are just so skittish. So anyway, yeah, I was fishing a few different areas and wasn't getting much, so I did a little bit of walking, got a little further up, and I found one area where a couple other guys, but there was room, and there was just fish stacked in this one pool, and I threw pretty much everything but the kitchen sink at them, and they were just not interested at all, right? So kept moving a bit, came back down, and then I caught one on just kind of the magenta color, like the light pink, I guess it's kind of the purplish color squirmy. I caught a small jack steelhead on that, nice fresh one. Got back, and then, I went back downstream, right up to where I had started out. That was where I saw the most fish, right? And then I caught another one on I think it was a red squirmy, and then the fish just were not reacting to any of those, right? Any of the squirmy colors I threw at them. So I was trying some other nymphs and stuff, and then I put on a black woolly bugger, okay? I think it was about a size 10. And it always seems like the bushier and kind of the sloppier looking, the better. I think just you get a little more action, and it looks like a little bait fish or something. And sure enough, I really wish I had made that adjustment earlier on, because I think the day could have been a lot more productive. But within a few drifts, I was casting, and that's just real slow, not really stripping line in by the foot, but just real slow, a few inches at a time, boom, boom, boom. And then occasionally giving a little jig with my rod and imparting some action that way too. But anyway, I hooked several on that. I landed one, and for about, it was probably 40 minutes, that was kind of the hot pattern, right? Landed a fish, I had several where I seen them come up and hit it, but I missed the hook set. I snapped a really nice fish off. It was probably somewhere in the teens. It got wrapped around a big rock and broke me off. But I really wish I had made that adjustment earlier. But anywho, that was it. And then that was it for the day. It was getting kind of late, and I decided to make the trip back home, drive the 3.5 hours, and I got home just in time for dinner with my wife. So that was always great. Anyhow, I kept my setup the same, right? It's my standard 9-foot fly rod. Now, I made one change to my setup, and I took off the tapered mono leader, and I actually have been experimenting with some mono rigs and Euro nymphing, and kind of trying to come up with a good setup with that. And I actually switched out the tapered mono leader I had on there for this, right? This is Maxima Ultra Green. They also have, you probably have heard of Maxima Chameleon. I don't think it really makes a difference which you use. I mean, I got this because it was what was available at my local shop. It's just 12 pound, and it works out really well. I take about a 6-foot section of it, tied onto my fly line with a nail knot, and at the end of that I have a small micro swivel, just a blackbird swivel, and then I have a few feet of just the the same. It's the Cortland Ultra Premium 5X tippet. Obviously, if they ever do get rain up there, they kind of need to, and you do get some extra flow. Maybe there is some extra current. You'll probably want to go up to around 3X, kind of something in that 8-pound line, in that 8-pound test range, because obviously the fish will be fighting a little harder, and you'll be dealing with a little more current. But anyway, this worked out really well, and I do like it quite a bit better than the ultra, than just the mono leader, right? Just the tapered mono leader. So I'm going forward, I'm definitely going to start using this. It's a very simple setup, and it also seems like if you do decide to use an indicator with it, it works out better. The line doesn't kink, and it's uniform thickness throughout rather than a heavy butt section. So it works out and it turns over a lot better. But anyway, I was very pleased with the trip. However, I think I'm gonna hold off myself from making another trip up until they do get some rain and things become a little more active, just because it's so low and clear. But anyway, I'm pleased with the trip, happy I made it. So very happy. And I do want to thank you all for watching. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Or if you still need to think about it, a couple other videos here for you to check out. I appreciate everyone, and until next time, catch you on the water. Thanks a lot.